Howdy, Hillbilly Nation. This is American Hillbilly. And welcome to the Guns, Beer, and Therapy Saturday Night Party. Ready? Look at that face! One less can of hard seltzer in this world. I'm proud of myself. Howdy, Hillbilly Nation. This is American Hillbilly. Man, we're going to have some fun tonight. I hope you're ready to have fun. We have a great show for you guys. We got the side chat out there is already rocking and rolling. Man, we're having fun. We have some great panelists back here in the green room. And sorry we was running a little late, but Bubba is like, hey, guys, I'm bringing the food tonight. And he brought roadkill. I mean, it was like possum, pork chops, turtle soup. Oh, man. I mean, it tasted good a little bit till we found out what it was, and then you can imagine what happened then. So, whew, man, I think everybody's feeling better now, so we can get the show started. So, anyway, the first person I want to bring up is the man himself responsible for everybody getting sick tonight. Bubba, how you doing tonight, buddy?
I'll have you know Roadkill Grill is a great service, all right? You know, Roadkill Grill. You hit it, we grill it, all right? Great service, great people, great place. A lot of people with Bushmaster grills, and a lot of them get picked out of. Anyway, but yeah, usually pretty good service.
Yeah, I have to tell you, like, hard seltzer is really bad. Walter says, yeah, we had to drink some hard seltzer to wash that stuff down. It tasted better than what he brought. So anyway, thank you though for the effort, Bubba. I really appreciate it. We'll see if Walter, how he's feeling here. And welcome, Viejo. How you doing, buddy?
Excuse me. Man. Phew. You put enough ketchup on it, it's not too bad, but you know. Doing good here. Glad to be here. Good to see everybody there in the side chat. Having a good time. We got a pretty good bunch of us going to be in here on the panel this evening. It's going to be fun, you guys.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely going to be a party. No doubt about that. Which we try to do that every Saturday night. So thanks a lot, Walter, for showing up. Next time, maybe we'll have you bring some food. So. All right. Well, up next, I'd like to welcome Garage Guy 879. How you doing tonight, buddy?
I have no idea how I'm doing. I want to ask Bubba this. Isn't roadkill supposed to be killed before you serve it? Because mine jumped off the plate and ran off. I'm still hungry.
I wasn't too sure about that possum, though. I mean,
it's called leftovers, man.
Right? You even got a hat out of it.
Well, I guess I'm just have to do some leftovers then. Jeez.
Yeah, Dwayne, roadkill tastes like chicken until you find out what it is, and it don't taste like chicken anymore.
Yeah, one thing about that leftover roadkill, you know, it don't matter how long that roadkill hangs out in your refrigerator afterwards, it ain't going to get no crappier than it was the first night.
Well, that's because they don't really clean out the bowels, because the bowels is pretty much everywhere.
Well, all right. Well, up next we have Mark Thomas. How you doing tonight, Mark?
Doing good, real good. Even after I ripped the leg off of a baked possum and looked inside, there was another possum in there already eaten.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Ozzy says fast food. Well, this food wasn't quite quick enough. It ended up on the road, and Bubba picked it up. So, thanks for coming on tonight, Mark. I appreciate you, buddy. So
Thanks
up
for having
next, we have Ron and Misty Wayne. Well, welcome you guys to the show.
Hey there.
Hey guys.
Thanks for having us on. Appreciate it. And I'm not so sure that was possum. I'm still kind of wondering. The aftertaste is kind of, I don't know, kind of bumper chromish.
Don't question it. Don't question it. You're safer that way.
Mystery meat. Good to be here hanging out with y'all.
Well, thanks for coming on tonight. We sure appreciate you guys. And up next, we have DJ Play Nice, the man, the voice. How you doing tonight, DJ?
Oh, okay. You're going to have to look out there in the text chat. That's what's happening right now. Bubba, what the hell, bro? The possum chops were undercooked, and I thought the only thing I'd ever have to do was spell aardvark. I didn't know I'd be eating one. The gas is heavy back here, fellas. I got it. I'm not tapping completely out, but I got it. Yeah. Oh, hold on. I got it. I gotta go.
Well,
just kidding. It's good to be here, man. Glad that I'm in the company of friends and laughter on a Saturday night. Good times.
Don't strike a match.
well, thank you so much for coming on tonight, DJ. We sure appreciate you, buddy. And up next, we have Chris from 740. How you doing tonight, buddy? Good to see you.
I was a little late to the show, so I didn't get to eat the roadkill.
Oh, lucky you.
All right,
There's
I'll
a couple
just
plates here you could lick.
I'm good. I'm good on that. Yeah. Thank you
We
for
saved
the
you some
invite,
mashed-
Hillbilly. I appreciate it.
We saved
Well-
you some mashed road apples.
There we go.
Yeah, that was dessert. That was supposed to be dessert. Come on, man.
Well, thanks for coming on tonight, Chris. I sure appreciate you. And up next, we have, I don't know if he's cleaning up back there, if he's feeling good enough to come on, but anyway, we have Gizzard Gary. How you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing all right. I've got to say that's probably the best possum I ever had. It's also the only possum I ever had. So I don't really have anything to compare it to. So
That is true. I mean, yeah, I don't think I've ever had possum before, so I mean,
not
Yeah,
sure I
we
ever
had
want it
squirrel.
again either.
we had squirrel, we had frog legs, we've had a lot of good stuff, but yeah, first time for possum for me, buddy. Man, we have a rock and rolling side chat out there, and look at these guys go, man. Welcome you guys all in. I mean, this is so much fun. It's just going to keep getting funner. So we'd like to say hello to side chat out there. So let's see, Walter, would you like to give them something to throw out there, and would you mind calling them out tonight?
Oh, sure. Possum. P-O-S-S-U-M. Right
Possum.
there.
There we
There
go.
it is.
Type in possum, and Walter's going to call you out tonight there on the side chat. We appreciate
right,
you all
here we
showing
go.
up.
Gizzard Gary's in there. We got Info Brothers. We got Tim S. We got Pat in the bunker. We got the Scottish American. I don't know. Is weasels related to possums? I don't know. Michael Dunn. Idaho Roger says beef. Yeah. Brooke Cheney. Mr.
Ken.
Bob Dabalina is here. DJ himself is here. Tim S. We said. James Pugh is there. Lakeview. Pat in the bunker. Six Shooter Texan. Hiya, Six. Rick Harris. Dwayne 7834 is in here. Bobby Barlow is here. Rollis Carvelis. Good to see you, Rollis. Awesome Possum. Tim S. says, Tommy Boy Possum. The Scotsman says the weasel isn't a possum. Yeah, well, they're both short and furry. It's close. I think that might be it. That's all I'm seeing on my feed over here. Anybody else in there that I didn't call out that is in the side chat? type in possum. Oh, there's Fluffy 10mm Jeep guy. A 10 millimeter Jeep, is that? No, that's not the displacement of the engine, is it? Oh, G23 is here. Hey, Dan. Rich White.
Possums are marsupial, so they're closely related to like aye-ayes and lemurs. Just an FYI.
Mike McClune can't eat a trash panda.
All right.
Bubba, you know a little bit too much about marsupials. Do we expect kangaroo next week?
It depends if I go down under, Mike.
All right, then.
You see me in like Crocodile Dundee hat. I got this.
Yeah.
Next week we have Bubba in Australia. What's he doing? Grabbing the roadkill from there.
Good days, boy.
All righty, man. We sure appreciate y'all being here tonight. We have a great show lined up here. I'm going to have to bail on you guys a little early. That's fine. I mean, look at everybody there. You know, you guys are having a blast and will continue to have a blast. I had an aunt that has been sick for a while, and she'd passed away the other day. So we had her funeral service today, and it was super, super hot out. And so everybody kind of agreed that like everybody's going to go home, kind of cool off a little bit. And then we're going to meet back at my uncle's house. And we have a lot of people here from out of town and stuff that we didn't get to visit with much today. So I'm going to be leaving here before too long to go up and visit with some family and friends, just because they're from out of town, you know. So anyway, but that's okay. We have the show is good to go, and we're going to have a lot of fun. And yeah, thanks. I mean, for that, Donaldson's, but yeah, I appreciate that. But like I said, it's one of those deals. They've been going on for a while, and one thing that's really awesome. That's why I'm wearing some Chiefs outfit here, shirt and hat. She had said, I don't like going to funerals, and I don't like dressing up and wearing black. She goes, I would be super happy if everybody just dressed casual, and if anybody wanted to wear Kansas City Chiefs stuff. So, like, pretty much most everybody did. So it looked like a Kansas City Chiefs football game out there in a way, like we were all ready to go to the game. And so, that was really nice and everything. So, anyway, I'm going to show you, we are going to have a giveaway. Bubba has the giveaway tool pulled up. And so if you want to enter the giveaway, and he'll do that later, type in hashtag HBN35, and that'll get you entered in the giveaway. And I'll go ahead and show you guys what we're giving away this evening. And it is this knife. I really like this little knife. And after I gave it away, I think last week, I had some people like email me and like, that's a really cool knife. Can you let me know where you got it and stuff? And so a few people did. I just went ahead and sent them one, but I did get it on Amazon. It was given to me by a subscriber. They're like, I really like this knife. They sent it to me. They're like, check it out. If you like it, it might be something you want to give away. And it's got a ball bearing up here for the part where the blade is and stuff. And it just comes out. Well, I didn't push on it very hard, but it just comes out super slick and everything. It's a lock blade, got a little belt carrier on it there. I don't know if you can see it, but it just comes in black though. But it's real slim and it fits almost all the way down in your pocket. That's what I really liked about it. And it does have a glass breaker on the end of it. So those can always come in handy in a bad situation. So anyway, that's what we'll be giving away tonight to one lucky winner. So anyway, make sure you get your hashtags in there. Hashtag HBN35. Are those showing up okay, Bubba, on the deal? Let's make sure so people don't have to
So far, we
retype.
got 18.
8. There you go. All
It
right.
looked like it coming in. I
All
must have
right.
done
Well,
something right. Apparently, I didn't do the roadkill right, but I did get this right.
yeah, you win one of these nice, you can get your own roadkill. So
Yeah. You just see me dropping out of a
awesome.
tree on top of a deer or something. Hurrah! How'd he get in the tree? And how did the tree not fall?
All righty. So, Bubba, I'll let you go ahead. Since you got the controls there, go ahead and pick the first topic, buddy. And
All right.
we'll get started on that.
All right, I'm going to pick this one because I think you talked about it while we was in the back chat in the green room. So we're going to do this one first. What is your thoughts on the 5.7 pistol? Do you plan on getting one at some point? Pros and cons of the 5.7 caliber. Go. So I guess I'll do me first. I actually am building one. I actually am building one right now. I actually do like the caliber. It was originally introduced in the P90, so it was originally meant to be a rifle round. Some of those mid-range between rifle and pistol rounds, what they wanted. They wanted a fast, easy round. Very good at piercing armor. Very good at piercing pretty much anything. For how small the round is, it's ridiculous the velocity that it has. It has a lot of potential, and I still would like to see it shot out of a 28-inch barrel. Still trying to find somebody that'll work with me on that.
Oh, yeah.
But the only downsides I could see to it is right now the ammo is kind of expensive for it. And I hear, and I haven't verified this yet or not, but I hear it's kind of a pain in the butt to reload for. But other than that, it is a very gnarly round. It is a very slick round. And for how small of a round it actually is, comparative to other larger calibers, say 10 millimeter, 40 Smith & Wesson and stuff like that, you would not expect it to have as much punch as it actually does have. I want to say the felt recoil is like 1 to 2 pounds. The pounds per square inch is around 800 to 900 per square inch whenever it hits something. So that's pretty crazy for a tiny round, especially for the grainage of that round. But the velocity on it, I think it tops out, like the highest one right now is like 4,150 feet per second. So pretty ridiculous of a round. So, I mean, like I said, I'm building one right now. All I need is the upper for it and a couple more striker parts and a different trigger, and we're good to go on there. So, Walter, you're next.
Also, Walter, real quick, while you're answering yours, I don't know if you even use 5.7 out there or whatever, but with it being a neck down type bullet, could you explain a little bit about that? Some of your reloaders, like what the process would be if you was going to reload that to save some money?
Well, it is a reloadable cartridge, and I don't have one and don't shoot one, but I know a couple guys here locally who do. And they say the same thing, since it's a real small cartridge to begin with, plus being a bottleneck, that getting, you're trying to figure out how you're going to deal with that. Are you going to treat it like you would any other bottleneck cartridge? Are you going to just neck size it? What are you going to do with it? And I don't really know. I can't really visualize myself having one, to tell you the truth. I don't know if I'd want to reload it. I mean, there are dies and stuff that are available for it, and I think that what I would like to see, I'm kind of with Bubba. I'd like to see a nice long barrel rifle and turn it into a coyote gun. That little round ought to do to a coyote what a 17 HMR will do to a ground squirrel, is to turn them inside out. going at that speed with those little ballistic tips on them. It ought to be kind of a fun varmint gun. But other than that, it's not. I don't. To tell you the truth, I don't even know how many firearms are legit for it here in California. There won't be many because it's relatively new, and we haven't been able to add very much to our limited roster that are acceptable here in this state. But I could see it as a varmint gun. I couldn't see it as a plinker because ammo's too expensive to just buy over the counter. I mean, looking at ammo here in my local gun shop, it's the cheapest I've seen. It's about 80 cents a round for that little bitty, 22 Magnum size round. It's pricey to just go plink with, so you'd have to come up with a use for it. And being as it's traveling so fast and so small, it's going to go through just about anything you point it at. I can't see it as a self-defense round, but again, I don't have one. I haven't ever even shot one, so I really shouldn't go off too much about it. But what do you think, Mike, Garage Guy?
I think you're right. We have coyote around here, and I use 22 Magnum out of a Ruger American bolt action rifle with the 22-inch barrel. To me, there for a while, 5.7 was more I don't know, novelty round because nobody around here really used it. And now, as far as coyote hunting, I'd mentioned earlier in the back in the green room about Ruger makes a carbine in a 5.7 now. That would be good for coyote hunting.
Yeah.
As far as the barrel length on it, though, I don't know what kind of distance or range you'd get with it, but you got Kel-Tec making these crazy looking pistols that hold 50 rounds, something like that. I think they make a 5.7 like that. Yeah. But no, to me it's a novelty round. As far as coyotes, I think I'll stick with 22 Magnum. It's a lot more cost effective. That's my thoughts on it.
Well, I kind of like Michael Dunn's comment out there. Said if I was going to have a rifle in it, I'd like to have a lever action. Now, I can get behind that. Which I like all lever action. So, but yeah, Mark Thomas, I think you're next, buddy.
I don't really have any interest in the 5.7. It is awfully expensive. I mean, if I'm going to pay $1 a round, I want to buy something like 44 mag. That's getting my money per pound worth out of it. Yeah, I would be, if I'm going to be going varmint hunting, I'm more than content with 22 mag. I got a few people I'm watching that starting to make me think about 22 Hornet. And, if I'm going to do something difficult to reload and something odd for varmints, I'd rather do something unique like that. Nice old rifle than buy something new in 5.7.
Yeah.
Could go really weird with it, get 22K Hornet.
Yeah, there's some of that stuff.
Alrighty, I think that would be Ron Wayne and Mrs. Wayne for the next.
Yeah. I actually have a 5.7. I've got a Rock from PSA. It's a really smooth shooting gun. I put an optic on it, and it's very accurate. It really is. But you got to get over the price for ammo. That's the problem. I understand that, but it's like I say, it's very smooth. It's kind of hard to sit here and say what's it comparable to. It's stronger than a 22 Magnum, but it's less than a 380. It's kind of weird there, but I don't know. Miss Wayne shot it. What did you think about it?
Yeah, he actually did let me shoot it. He said I couldn't take it, but he let me shoot it. I thought it was real smooth.
They're fun guns, and I do not have a die set for it yet. I need to really get into that. Try to anyway, and yeah, definitely probably save some money there. But that's where I'm at with it. I enjoy it, and you know, it probably is a novelty. I'll have to say that. I mean, my goodness, it's good for target shooting for me. I don't think I would, EDC it, but that's about where I'm at.
See, now as far as the ammo is concerned, the cheapest I have seen it has been half a doll hair, and that's with the Fiocchi. Well, since it's an Italian ammo, I might as well call it by its Italian name, Fiocchi, not Fiocchi, Fiocchi. And PSA, which is probably one of the leading guys for selling 5.7 pistols itself, is selling ammo pretty steady price, about 50 to 55 cents and stuff. So yeah, it's still kind of pricey for what it is. DJ Play Nice.
Well, I'm kind of torn. I mean, you bring up the 5.7, and with the experience we had, and Bubba, I'm going to beat up on you again, man. With the 5.7, I'm torn, because if A1 can make hamburgers taste like steak burgers, I bet you it will do a hell of a job on next week's Kangaroo. So here's my gig. I do not have an interest. I'm like Mark. I don't have an interest in that 5.7. I'm pretty happy with the things that I have. I'm curious about every round that comes out, gains popularity, sticks around, or goes off into a corner and crawls up and dies, kind of thing. So it's not something I'm going to grab. But Hillbilly, if you don't mind, I got a little bit of 57 trivia. Can I ask one question to the panel alone?
Oh, of course, buddy.
Right on. Okay, so Heinz is a Pittsburgh company. Shout out to Rich White out there in the crowd. How's that wildlife fact file? So how much would you guess that they paid beginning in 2001 and ending in 2021 to name the football field Heinz Field? Okay, at top of the key and bring it around the horn. Hillbilly, you start. How much money did Heinz pay to name the field?
Oh, man. I'd say, and this was back in what date?
2001, to be paid for the next 20 years, and they did. Yeah, and they paid it.
Oh, man. I'd say, I'm probably way off. I'm going to say 700,000.
Okay. What you got, Bubba?
You know what? Go big or go home. Let's say they paid somewhere around 100 to 150 million dollars for it.
Whoa, we get 100 million. Somebody's got some deep pockets. Walter, what do you got, man?
I was going to go $1 million a year. So it's
okay.
If we got 20 years worth, that'd be 20 million.
All right, then.
In light of Bubba's amount, that doesn't sound like much. Chicken feed.
Well, what is that rule from Price is Right or something close without going over or whatever? Somebody bet $1, would you?
Yeah.
Anyway, Garage Guy, what do you got, man?
They probably gave them a lifetime supply of ketchup. I have no idea.
A couple pretty good answers over there in the side chat.
Probably 25 to 30 million a year. I mean, for those corporations, they got all these lawyers. They can write stuff off. I don't know about that, but that's nothing to them. 25, 30 million a year. It's advertisement.
Too true, and that's exactly what it was to name that field. So, Mark, what you got?
I was going to say $1, and Fluffy already beat me to it.
Got that Price is Right kind of thing going on. We got you.
You go $3, Mark.
Or 2 for 2A. Come on, Mark, toss a 2 in there or something. Give us a number. The 2.
I'll go with 3.
With 3, it's the magic number. Yes, it is. So, Ron and Misty Mrs., you want to work together, or we got separate votes? I don't want people having to draw a curtain between the rooms tonight. No fighting. No arguing about cookies. No. Okay. If the man wants a cookie, give it to him. But here's my deal. Go ahead, guys. What do you got?
All right, I got 2.7 million and 27 cents.
2.7.02. Okay, I got you written down. You're on it. Chris, we have a reversal of fortune. We're going straight past me because I posed the question. Chris from the 740. What's your guess, bud?
$2,850,000.
All right, and Gizzard Gary, last guess, and 12 cents, and 2 cents, and 2 cents. Gizzard Gary, what's your guess?
Well, I'm going to guess, since we were talking about the 5.7, that they paid $57 million for it.
Gary's got a good guess in there. Well, according to the Google, and I couldn't believe this, Gary gets it $57 million to call it Heinz Field. So congratulations, Gizzard Gary. I guess I got to go out and get, I don't know, a kangaroo gift card or something like that. Bubba, can you hook up the man up with some kangaroo burgers? And Gary, I'll send you a couple of stickers. How's that?
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, thank you for that, hillbilly.
They don't like all the things.
Yeah, it's fun.
Oh my goodness! So,
It's
let's
back
see,
to
where were
the
we? Do you, Chris?
My turn on the 5.7.
Yeah, I
Yes,
believe
sir.
so, buddy.
All right. So my thoughts on the 5.7. I actually love the round. It's a super cool round. It is super hard to reload. It's got a lacquer coating on it, so you cannot. I don't believe you can tumble the brass. My favorite. I've shot a lot of full auto guns. My favorite gun that I've ever shot, and anytime I go anywhere they got full auto, I'm going to shoot a P90. But it's not a round that I want. I have a pistol chambered in 22 mag, and I have a pistol chambered in 22 TCM. 22 TCM is pretty close to the same velocity out of a short barrel handgun as 5.7. So it's not a gun that I want, but it's a round that I absolutely love to shoot. It's an awesome round.
And over to Gizzard Gary.
Well, I shot 5.7 at SHOT Show back when Ruger first introduced the 57 pistol. And I enjoyed it, but it's not anything I'd ever buy for myself. For one thing, I'm too cheap to buy the ammo. I'll be flat out honest with you right there.
So I'm just a weirdo. Got it.
Well,
So we
I'm
knew
not
that from the
necessarily. I've been thinking seriously about buying one, and I mean, if they was going to come out in a lever action or something, if I knew for a fact that the company's going to come out with a lever action, 5.7, I would wait and buy that personally. But
that would be nice. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what part of the country you live in. Around here, man, it's sad to say we have to deal with a lot of varmints. So, I mean, that would be something that I think would be pretty cool. I do have 22 mag, and I use that a lot, and even sometimes 9mm. But, I would seriously consider buying one, though. I mean, and maybe Bubba, I think you're one of the younger ones on the panel. I heard somebody say one thing that made that 5.7 super popular was because it was on certain video games or something.
Yeah, it was in COD. It was in Battlefield. It was a lot of different video games. That was shooting video games and stuff. So I mean, the P90 got its fame back in the 80s. I mean, it really kicked off in the 80s. Like, it was like the bad guy mercenary type gun. Everybody was just like, oh, it looks so cool. But then again, most guns that look different than outside of the norm, people usually want to gravitate to. You got people that are rocking those Ronin kits for their Glocks and stuff like that, and they like them just because it looks kind of futuristic. looks a lot like Blade Runner kind of vibes going out of there. And there's a lot of other companies that make conversion kits like that to make Glocks and Glock clones and stuff look like they're from like a sci-fi movie. So I think a lot of the merit for that particular round came out of the P90 just because it looked like a future gun. That's just what it is, pure and simple. It looks futuristic. It's a gnarly looking round nobody had really seen before. Yeah. Plus, the P90 had the weirdest mags in the entire world. It was one of the first introduced straight mag rotary mag. So, I mean, it's interesting in just that aspect alone, and that's one of the reasons why I fell in love with it. It wasn't because of video games or anything like that, but it's just the movies that I watched when I was a kid. Like, it was either Abbott and Costello or some kind of 80s film growing up. So,
yeah. Well, I'm going to address this real quick. Info Rose says Hillbilly's waiting for Keltec to come out. Yeah, but if Keltec or High Point makes one, I'll just go ahead and buy it regardless. So
Keltec already has one.
High Point's already got a carbine out in 30 Super Carry.
I was talking about the 5.7, yeah.
Oh, 5.7.
Yeah.
Hillbilly Keltec already has a 5.7.
They do?
Oh, yeah. PMR 50, I believe they call it.
I didn't know.
Oh, my goodness. How did I miss that? I got the 30. Shoot, I need
Hey,
to
Psych,
add
I
a 50.
got money. We got this.
Wow. Y'all have to go watch in Carbo and see if there's any upgrades for it before I buy one.
It's called the P50.
I learned that
I'm
lesson
sorry.
with the PMR 30.
I call it the
I will
PMR
have
50.
some videos coming out on the PMR 30. I love that gun. 22 mag by Keltec, 30 round magazine. I love it because I spend a lot of times in the woods. It don't matter if it's hunting morel mushrooms or whatever, and it's so light. A lot of rounds, and it actually shoots good. It had some issues, and so M Carbo did a lot for it. And I had purchased a lot of the M Carbo aftermarket stuff, and so I'm going to be doing a video on that before and then after and stuff. So I'll have that coming up. I just got some filming outside to do to finish that, and it's just been too stinking hot. But guys, I love y'all and I appreciate everything, but I am going to have to jump here and get back up there. You guys are in great hands. We're all just family and friends here, and I thank you all very much for understanding the situation and everything. And anyway, real quick before I go, Mark, is it next Saturday we do the giveaway for your shotgun?
No, I believe it's Saturday after.
Fall.
It's yes.
The following Saturday, okay. So don't forget to plug that, guys. And that night I'll be doing the giveaway for the people that donated through my channel. And also, I hate to shout stuff out for myself, but I'm getting so doggone close to 1,000 subs. And I most usually wouldn't be like kind of trying to push a deadline. Because like a lot of you guys, I mean, we just enjoy doing the content, and it's not about, a number or anything. But a year ago, September the 2nd, I set a goal for myself. And if you watch a few of my past videos, I talk about it. And so I had a goal that set 1 year to hit 1,000 subscribers. And, I've been working, fairly hard on it and stuff. And, Hillbilly Nation's awesome. I mean, I can't say enough about Hillbilly Nation. Everybody's family and friends, and I just love each and every one of you. So if you've not subscribed to my channel, go check out the content, and if you like it, I ask that maybe give me a subscribe. And when I will hopefully hit that. And then the week following Mark's giveaway, Garage Guys giveaway on the shotgun, I'll be having a giveaway party. Like, it's just going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, we had one at 500 subscribers, 750, and they just keep keep letting them get bigger and better. So anyway, everybody that does go watch the video and follows the rules on there, being a subscriber, and any of my videos, comment 1,000 baby, not 1,000 babies like the last video I just put out there. But anyway, it'll get you in the drawing and stuff. And I just want to say thank you guys so much for everything, and y'all take care, and I love you. And I'll be watching the rewind on this. So anyway, I love you all, and you guys have an awesome night. And before I go, I'm going to say, remember, God, family, country, make somebody's day better. And if the good Lord's willing, the creeks don't rise, I'll be seeing you all again. I love y'all. We'll talk to y'all later. Thank you.
See you, Hillbilly.
Have a good.
All right. So I've been put in charge of this. This is scary.
I'm
Dad's out of the
scared.
house. Let's party.
When the cat's away.
And the real prize for tonight is that guitar you saw hanging on Hillbilly's wall back behind him.
Ooh. What do I got to do? What do I got to do? What do I got to do?
What I do.
Hashtag guitar.
There you go. I'm gonna get that in there right now.
Mark's question out of the way, because Mark had another question when we was in the back chat. So let's go ahead and bring this one up, right? Have you ever bought the wrong ammo? And to establish this question, in other words, you bought ammo, you thought you were getting like 22 mag, you get back to the house, and it's 17 HMR, and you just didn't pay attention. Have you ever done that? And me, I have bought 7.62 by 39, thinking it was 7.62 by 51. So yes, I have definitely done that. I have about 1,000 rounds of that, and I don't have a 7.62 by 39. That's
Better
why
get
I'm
one.
trying to find a cheap SKS. All right, Walter, your turn.
I haven't. I'm thinking. I'm going way back here now because I have to go back. I don't think I've ever bought the wrong ammo. I've bought ammo that I didn't really need to buy, for that was the right caliber and stuff that's still sitting on a shelf. But no, I never bought a box thinking it was something else than what it was when I got home that I can recall anyway. But it doesn't mean I didn't do it. It just means I can't remember. It could have been yesterday with me. So I don't know. How about you, Mike, Garage Guy? You ever buy the wrong stuff?
Yeah, I sure have. Like I was saying earlier there in the green room, I went today and I've got this Taurus Model 82 revolver chambered 38 special. It's basically a clone of the Smith & Wesson Model 64, and it's been excellent. And I was wanting to put some more rounds through it and maybe run a little hotter stuff. It is plus P rated, so I went to my local gun shop, and of course I saw on the counter right there, and I saw, Blazer 158 grain 38 special. I said, yeah, I'll take a box of that, And so I get home with it, and I open it up and look at it, and right there is what I got, aluminum case. I wasn't intending on that, but I don't think it'll hurt anything, especially in the revolver. Also, probably the biggest mess up I ever did, I went to a gun shop in a neighboring town, and I saw on the box, and it didn't hit me. I was also looking for 38 special, and it said 38 S&W, and so I went ahead and bought like 4 boxes of that. And the guy behind the counter, he was somebody I didn't know, and he just looked at me and said, "Are you sure you want this?" I'm like, "Yeah, I want that. Shoot my 38." Well, it wasn't, the S&W wasn't for 38 special. It was 38 S&W. The cartridge was a little bit shorter than 38 special and a little bit fatter in diameter. And that was major flub. It took me, oh God, probably over a year to unload that ammo, sell it to somebody. But yeah, I've come home. I get in a hurry. I'd have something else on my mind or something. I'm usually pretty careful about ammo purchases, but once in a while, I end up biting myself. So, yeah, I've come home with the wrong ammo.
All right, before we get any further into this, let's welcome Cornholio himself, Pat in the bunker. How you doing, Patty boy?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for having me on tonight. Appreciate it.
Not a problem. I always like having you here. I could usually make a choke on a beer or dip.
Yep, that's right.
All righty. So, since you just got here, let's go ahead and ask the question. What do you think about the 5.7 before we move on from here?
What's that? Sorry, repeat that again.
So what do you think about the round 5.7? And do you plan on buying one or anything of that nature?
Negative and negative. I've got a cousin that's got one and a pistol, and he just says it's so dang expensive to shoot. He loves the round. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a good little hot rod round, but I don't know. I don't know enough to comment about it, but at the price point, nope. I'm not going to do it.
So I guess what we're all trying to say is the 5.7 is the barbecue round. Got it. And I'm the weirdo.
Yeah.
All right, so getting back on track. DJ Play Nice, have you ever bought the wrong ammo?
I don't believe so. And I'm not trying to fib about that. I was like searching through my head. Have I ever walked out of some place with the wrong thing? And it's not like I have a whole bunch sitting around where it's just like, oh, I've got one of those. And, no harm, no foul. But most of my stuff has been online or at shows or places where I'm just confident in what goes in the bag or is under my arm when I leave. So that's me.
Okay, then. Ron and Misty Wayne, either one of you bought the wrong ammo.
No, not the wrong ammo or caliber or gauge. Now, here recently, I bought some 20 gauge. I asked for slugs. They gave me 20 gauge slugs and got home and they were slugs for a rifled shotgun. So I had to wind up buying a cylinder bore choke for a 20 gauge so I could shoot those because we got an upcoming video. But that's about the limit of my mistake on that. And I've been lucky over the years. Never did anything, completely wrong. But
all right, so Misty, as the better half, is he making that up?
No, actually, he's not.
Okay. And what about you, hon?
Me?
Yeah. What about you?
No.
Never have, huh?
No, I ain't never bought the wrong ammo. I don't think, have I?
no.
No, because I always double check with him. So if I'd bought the wrong ammo, it'd be his fault.
Yeah.
So
Right. Okay, so that would lead back to
Nice
he
cover.
bought the wrong
Nice
ammo.
that would lead back to him. So
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. Coming full circle there. All right. So, Mark, it looks like me and you are the only ones that've done this so far. So, Mark with a C, have you ever bought the wrong ammo?
Kinda. I bought some Buffalo Bore 32 H&R Magnum for a NEF revolver that I got, and when I got it home and looked at the fine print, it said this is not for the NEF and H&R revolvers. I guess they were too stout.
Oh.
So I had to go buy a 327. And it works just fine in there.
If it works, it works.
If you buy the wrong ammo, just go buy a gun for the wrong ammo.
Yeah, kind of like buying 50 BMG for a 12 gauge. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
Sure.
If it fits, it shouldn't go in there. You know, it shouldn't be told not to use it. But anyway, all right, Chris with the 740. Your turn, bud. You ever bought the wrong ammo?
It's funny this subject comes up because I have never bought the wrong ammo, but I've bought the wrong bullets to do reloading with. So, and these are some videos that are going to be coming up here in the next few weeks on the channel. But I was at a local gun store and a guy bought a bunch of stuff on consignment, and they had a box of Barry's 30 carbine bullets, super cheap, so I wasn't going to leave them sit there. So I bought them to load them into 300 Blackout, which you can do just fine. But they are a plated bullet, so you can only push them so fast. So they were 110 grain bullets. So I loaded them up to like the same speed I would load VMAX bullets. And the bullets were, I'm guessing, coming apart before they got to the target. So I got some videos coming out where I super downloaded them to get them down to the under 1,600 feet per second that you can push a plated bullet at. And yeah, so I've never bought the wrong ammo, but I've bought the wrong bullets for the application when it comes to reloading.
All right. Gizzard Gary, what about you, buddy?
Yeah, I did. It was a couple of years back. I went to the local gun store. I picked up what I thought was three packages of 22 Magnum. Got them home. I got to looking at them, and one of them was 17 HMR. And it's like somebody suggested earlier when I mentioned it. I thought seriously about going out and buying a gun just to shoot it, but I didn't.
That's what I'm going to do with that 7.1639. I know it. All right, Pat in a bunker. Cornholio, what about you?
Well, I've never bought the wrong ammo, but I did have a unintentional buy on an auction site. And I'm going to blame this on just the way I wiggled the mouse or whatever. The bid button and the view button on there were awfully close together. And I must have wiggled the mouse at the wrong time, and I put in a bid on some ammo that I was looking at. And I won the bid. It was some 7.62 by 54R sniper ammo out of the old World War II actual tin leaded cans. So, I mean, I'm glad I got it at the price that I did, because I thought somebody was going to have it. It was actually a little bit higher than what I would have bid on it at the time, because I'm kind of a cheap bastard anyway. But, yeah, so that was kind of a flub on my part, but at the same time, I was glad I got it because it all came on stripper clips. It was in the 15-round boxes with the paper and the little ties and everything around it and everything. So, yeah, an unintentional buy, but not the wrong caliber. I've never bought the wrong caliber, but again, at the same time, I was really glad that I actually did get it, though.
Ozzy Osbourne says that he never bought the wrong ammo, but I have came home with more than I intended to. I think we all pretty much do that. And we get yelled at for it. I'm not even married and I get yelled at for it. That's crazy. Before I forget, guys, don't forget the hashtag is hashtag HBN35 to win the new knife he's giving away. And looks like we got 23 entries so far, and we've got 37 people watching. So go ahead and get those hashtags out. All right. So for the next question, let's see. What did he list here? Okay, yeah, let's do this one. This is sure to cause a debate. Do you prefer a safety on your firearms, and why? I'll do mine last. So, Viejo, go for it.
Well, there's all kinds of safety techniques as well as safety devices on firearms. Personally, I think they're a good idea. I don't carry here in California. I used to, but I don't anymore. And my carry was a 1911, and cocked and locked was the way that you carried it. And that particular kind of safety device on the 1911 is easy to bring off as you unholster. Your thumb's right there anyway, and so that's fine. Something like a crossbolt safety, is okay for a firearm that you're going to use at the range, or maybe in a shotgun for trap shooting or something like that. But I can't see any of those on a hunting rifle myself, because every situation that I can imagine having to shoulder up, a rifle and then go, and nothing happens because the safety's on. I think they're fine on handguns. If you look at like a Glock that doesn't have any kind of an external safety really, and I own several Glocks. I never had any problems with them accidental discharging or anything like that. But there are people who do have those kinds of issues that probably shouldn't have owned a firearm in the first place. But I suppose they're something of a necessary evil for handguns. They probably ought to be there, but other than with one that's set up like the thumb safety on a 1911, that's my style of a safety. If I'm going to have one, I want it to be one that's like that and in the same place. I don't want to have to go fishing around for anything different. But I guess I'm saying I'm kind of wishy-washy on whether there really should be a mechanical safety on a firearm. The mechanicals are just something that can fail as far as I'm concerned. So,
okay. All right, Mark with a K. What about you?
Well, oh boy, I have no problem with the manual safety on a handgun. My summertime carry M&P Shield Plus, it has a manual safety on it. I never use it, but it's there if I ever need it. And the way it's built, you're not going to accidentally, when you're drawing it out of your holster, flip the safety up. It's not going to happen. And Glocks, sometimes I carry the Glock 32 357 SIG during the winter. It doesn't have a manual safety on it. Don't need it. It just depends on the gun. And yes, I do carry the Glock and the Shield with one chambered in the round. But, you got that little trigger safety. It's not going to go off unless that's depressed. And I've never heard of the Shield Plus or the Glock having an accidental discharge. That probably has happened, but if it has, I've never heard about it. Now, on a hunting rifle, totally different. I can see a safety. 1911, carry cocked and locked, no problem. But, I think that's something I'll say to each their own. Because I've seen a lot of videos here on the pass. Some people just talk down about saying, oh, you wouldn't catch me carrying a handgun with a manual safety on it. and they would blow it so out of proportion. I just flipped to the next video. It was like they were talking down to people. I say to each their own. Make your own choice, whatever you're most comfortable with.
DJ, what about you?
Well, I'm a little bit between both of the gentlemen who just responded. Bubba, you're always on the outside with me until you get that kangaroo thing taken care of. You and I aren't talking. So, but with Walter's experience, I related because that's the way I carry my Walther, and I'm just used to when the gun comes up, the safety goes down. It's going down as I'm coming forward. My finger's outside the trigger guard as it is anyway. Now, the only exception, the only one that I purposely bought, safety delete, was my Smith & Wesson 45 compact. And that's because I'm not a Glock guy. And so I wanted something like, that was similar, but that's where I decided to go with that one. And I'm also with Garage Guy because it is a case of to each their own. Be confident in what you carry. Make sure that you're carrying strong. And yeah, just carry. That's what I got.
Okie dokie. Ron and Misty Wayne, what about you guys?
Well, I don't know. Everything I would say, Vio and Garage Guy and everybody else has already said. I'm in agreements with what they say on that. I can see the need for them. I mean, with new shooters, people you don't know, next to you in a stall at a range or something, but personally myself, if you want to narrow it down to that EDC thing, I don't, outside of the trigger safety. That's the limit for me. But it's a matter of choice and a lot of variables. The gun, a lot goes into that.
I agree. Kind of just depends, really.
Yeah. About the same stance on that.
All righty then. Mark Thomas, what about you, buddy?
I can't say I've got super strong feelings either way. Most of the time, if there's a safety on an auto that I'm carrying, I just don't use it. It's one of the reasons I like revolvers, other than damn Heritage having one. Revolvers, your safety is right here between the earphones and this here booger hook. So on a hunting rifle, on a shotgun, there's a good reason for it, and I will use that. But I'm gonna kind of ebb and flow with everyone else depending on the situation.
All righty. Chris from the 740, what about you, bud?
My opinion on this, so I've been carrying a 365 XL for the last 4 years, so it does not have a safety. If you feel better having a safety on your carry gun, then I think you should carry with a safety. But you have to train with that safety. So you have to remember when you pull that firearm from that holster, the first thing you got to do is throw that safety off. I don't have a problem with safeties on a gun, on a carry gun, but you definitely have to train with it. You got to know that, hey, if I got to use this gun, and when I pull it, I got to throw that safety off. Now, from a competition shooter standpoint, when it comes to carbines, ARs, it's just embedded in my brain. When I start a stage, I have to have my safety on. Every stage calls for the safety to be on. You just have to remember that's the first thing you got to do is get that safety off. So, but I think when it comes to carry guns, I think a lot of people are scared to carry a gun without a safety. And some people just get used to, you obviously have to trust your firearm. My 365 XL, like I said, I've been carrying it for 4 years. I trust it 100% without, it doesn't have a safety. But if you do prefer to carry with a safety, there's nothing wrong with that as long as you're going to train. You got to use that gun. There's a lot of people that get concealed carry, and they don't shoot that gun very often. You got to constantly pull that gun from the holster, throw that safety off, and shoot it. And that's kind of my thoughts when it comes to a safety. It's what you're comfortable with. If you're comfortable with the safety, that's great. But you're going to have to, there's an extra step in there that you got to train for when you pull that firearm from the holster.
All righty. Gizzard Gary, what about you?
Well, I kind of went back and forth on this. When I first started shooting, semi-autos that didn't have a safety on them, and I got comfortable carrying them that way. And lately, I've been carrying, especially in the summer, I've been carrying a Ruger LCR, so it's got a heavy enough trigger on it to where I don't worry too much about accidental trigger pulls. But I have thought, being an older person with my hands not as steady as they used to be, I might be looking at moving to a manual safety just for my own peace of mind on a semi-auto. Now, that being the case, however, and I do own a couple guns. I have a 1911. I have a 3rd Gen Smith that have safeties on them, plus a Star BM9. But right now, I've got a right thumb injury that's going to require some surgery to fix. And I bought that Taurus G3C, and I played with the safety on that, and it's painful for me to even try to sweep that safety right now. So I'm going to have to get in shape, but I'm not quite at the point where I'm scared to do it, but I'm thinking about my golden years, quote unquote. I might be a little bit safer with a manual safety, but I do believe, just like everybody else, I believe you ought to have the choice. And I'm not going to bash anybody for their choice of using a manual safety. And I do like what Chris said. Yes, you've got to train. Train yourself to sweep that safety off every time. Go to the range and practice it. You know, dry fire, doing that and stuff like that until it's just something natural. You draw the gun, you sweep the safety off. If you get yourself to that point, then you're fine. But yeah, if that's what you want to carry that way.
All righty. Pat in the bunker, your turn, buddy.
All righty. Well, and this is just my opinion, this is the way I treat every single gun, like it does not have a safety on it. And because I've got Henry lever actions, I've got revolvers, I've got Mosin Nagants, that the safety, it might as well not be a safety because it's so freaking hard to put on. That everything, I treat it just like it's loaded with no safety on it. Just keep your damn finger off the trigger until you're ready to use it. And that's the way I carry on my body. That's basically the way I treat everything else except my one exclusion. If I'm in the house, you know, usually my pistols and stuff like that are emptied, but I do, you know, my bedside guns at night. I do keep those on safety just because of my kids and everything around, but I've taught my kids, and 3 out of the 4 know how to shoot now, and they know how to respect guns and everything. And they've been taught not to touch the gun unless we're outside and we're on our little shooting range and everything. And they've been really, really good about that. So, again, it's personal preference. That's just the way it is. I mean, if you train with a safety, that's great. If you train without a safety, great. Just my opinion. I just treat everything like it's loaded and it's ready to go with no safety. So I just try to keep that between my ears, that every gun I'm going to pick up, I can grab the trigger and start pulling. So anyway, that's just my thoughts on it.
All right, and we've come full circle, and we're going back to me. All right, here we go. So My opinion on this is, and I agree with literally everybody here. All right. I'll extrapolate from each and every one of you. And Chris is the one that's closest to what my thoughts are. If you have a gun, no matter if it has a safety or not, you have to train with it. All right. It does not matter. Like going to a flat range, just like Bam and Dad saying right there. People need to know the difference. All right. You need to know the difference between shooting on a flat range and shooting to train yourself with that gun in the event that you defending your life or your family's life or something of that nature. So if you're going to carry, you need to train with whatever gun you are carrying. If you are better off with the safety on your gun, train with that gun. Train that whenever you go to pull that out, your finger is not on the trigger immediately, and you switch that safety off whenever you pull up for the draw. If you are not doing that, you have failed the very first concept of being a concealed carry person. If you are not training that daily, if you are not training on that rifle, on that handgun, on whatever ammo you're shooting, if you are not doing that, you are not doing your job correctly as a concealed carry person. All right? And in all honesty, I think people that are more scared about carrying guns and stuff, I can understand the need to have a safety on that. But if you're going to do that, once again, train on that gun. Train day in, day out. Shooting and training and you know, switching between targets and stuff like that, that is a diminishing talent. That is a diminishing talent. If you don't do it daily, if you don't do it at least weekly, you will lose every last bit of that muscle memory over time. You have to train it. If you're going to do something like that, if you're going to carry, if you're going to be a responsible gun owner, you need to train on whatever gun it is you're going to carry. All right? So if you're training on a manual safety, train on that manual safety. Don't switch to another gun. Don't switch to anything like that unless you're going to train on that gun from now on. All right? And I think it's easier to transition from a safety to a gun that, say, like a Glock or a Glock clone or something like that, that doesn't have a safety. I think it's easier to transition from safety to non-safety, in my opinion, because you're cutting out, let's see, 0.15 seconds of time on your draw, switching from a thumb safety to no safety. All right, 0.15. And that 0.15 could be the thing that saves your life. And don't ever carry without one in the chamber. That is the dumbest thing in the entire world anybody could do. Unless it's a revolver, in which case, a whole different concept there if you're carrying a revolver. To Israeli carry, which is what it's called, to not carry one in the chamber, to rack it as you're coming out, is, in my opinion, the height of stupidity. All right, but if you're comfortable with that, train that way. Maybe you could shave off a couple extra milliseconds or something like that on your draw. I don't know. It's not me. It's you. Ultimately, it all lies on you. Do you fail yourself, or do you succeed in yourself? It's my belief on that. Anybody against what I said?
No, you're exactly right. And one thing that I want to say, and I know a lot of people out in the side chat obviously aren't content creators like we are here on YouTube, but when I go to the gun range to film these videos, I've always got that SIG 365 XL on me. And a lot of times I'm already there reviewing a gun that shoots 9mm. Train with that gun. You know, you hit the nail right on the head. It's like that's the gun that you're relying on to save your life, the one you're carrying. So when you're there, shoot a mag through it. You know, 1 mag, 2 mags, you know, however many mags you want to shoot through it. But that gun right there, the one that you carry every day, is the one that you need to be the most proficient with. I don't care if you got 100 guns in your safe, whatever you got. The one that you carry every day is the one that you need to get the most rounds through to make sure that that gun is going to work the way you want it to work, and that gun's there to save your life. Because I think a lot of people neglect it. They just grab that gun every day and they carry it, but you got to train with it, especially when you're carrying these smaller handguns. You got to make sure that you're
train
efficient.
with the ammo that you're carrying too.
Exactly, the ammo.
You know,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
If you're out there practicing with light loads, and you're carrying a full house round in your EDC gun, and you crank one off and it knocks it out of your hand, from higher recoil, higher power round, that's no good either. So you need to take that out. Plus, it's probably a good idea to fire that ammo out of that magazine periodically anyway. At least once a year, get out there and get rid of your old self-defense ammo and practice with it. If that's what you're going to carry, then that's what you ought to be able to shoot through that firearm too, at any time. Okay to use light loads to go out and practice your trigger work and, draw from the holster, all that kind of stuff. But when, STF goes down, you need to be able to have confidence not only in the firearm but in the ammo that you've got in it.
Yeah. Like I said, having to draw your gun is a very intense situation. If you're put in that intense situation, any millisecond of time that you can take off from that draw is going to be what saves your life. Ultimately, it's going to be what saves your life. Any millisecond of time you can take off, because in a tense situation, sometimes you focus, sometimes you hit flight instead of fight, or your fight or flight response. So any second you can take off that is going to fundamentally improve your chance of survival.
It's like Chris said too, being a content creator, we as content creators fire a lot of different guns, and we get used to a few different guns. And, not just content creators, you stop and think about it. Most people, even in the side chat, owns more than one gun, and you take them to the range. But the one that you carry, that's the one.
And like I said, if you're going to switch to a different gun, train on that gun from now on. Do not train on the other one. That you have to do this. This is non-negotiable for your survival. You have to train on this weapon, whatever weapon you're going to carry. Non-negotiable. Train on the ammo. Non-negotiable. You have to. If you want to survive, if you want to survive a gunfight, you are going to have to train on that. And the thing is, and a lot of the anti-gun people, anti-carry people, and all that stuff, California, I'm sorry, Viejo, but they just don't get it. They just don't get it. It's like, well, you could have called the cops. There is not enough time for the cops to come. There is not enough time for the cops to come. 380 ACP, 9mm, 10mm, 357, all faster than dialing 911. You have to be the person to protect yourself, because at the end of the day, the cops are not going to get there fast enough. At the end of the day,
Exactly.
No one else is going to draw a gun for you.
And California is just like all the other gun control states. It's not about public safety. Our handgun roster, the state claims, it's all about. No, it isn't. It's about they don't want us to have firearms in this state, period. But we're beating them down a little bit at a time here lately.
I just want to say, and I'm not. Well, and Bubba, I just wanted to say, and I'm not trying to be trite, although we all know the phrase, when seconds count, the police are minutes away. And sometimes I say they're minutes or miles away. And I also want to remind everybody that the second of every month is Every Second Matters. There's a website with that. I'll drop it out there in the text chat. That's a good day to go ahead and do any of your social media stuff. Take a friend to a range. Remind yourself of what the Second Amendment means to you and folks that hang out with like us that hang out here.
And that's next Saturday.
Okay, to answer Gabriel's question, Hillbilly was here earlier. He had a death in the family, and some of his family members are still over, so he couldn't stay for too long and left me in charge. I don't know why in the world you would give the keys to a psychopath, but yeah. So that's where he is right now. He would have loved to have stayed, but he's seeing family that he hasn't seen in some of them years, and so. There's that. Plus, he had a death in the family, so that's why he's not here right now. All right,
the guy that fed us possum is in charge.
The guy that fed everybody possum is in charge. Large and in charge, looking for some more roadkill. Okay, so let's see here what we got here for the giveaway tool so far. 26 entries. Guys, give you about 15 more minutes. We'll run through another question here and see if we can get some more guys in there for the giveaway. It is hashtag HBN35. And for those of you who don't know Hillbilly's email address, if you win, boop, there it is, down there at the bottom of the screen. Let's see here. What's another topic here we got? You know what? I'm going to add one. Stoeger. What does everybody think of Stoeger? And I asked this question because I actually just bought one of their 40 Smith & Wesson pistols, and I never even knew they made pistols. I know they made side-by-sides. I know they made several different types of shotguns, but I've never known them to make pistols. So I got one of their 40 Smith & Wessons I'm going to be trying out here soon, and wanted to know everybody's opinion on that. So that's my question. Walter, we'll start with you.
Well, my opinion is I don't have one. I can't offer anything. I can't offer you anything. I don't own one. Never shot one in any form. You know, I've seen them on YouTube, but that'd be the extent of what I could say about them. So I'm gonna have to keep my mouth shut.
Hold on, I got to address the comment here. Yes, Jeff, we know you have a Stoeger. I remember the troll video that you did for the troll. That was absolutely hilarious. Somebody tried to tell Jeff that he didn't know what he was talking about, that Stoegers do not have a removable choke. So Jeff decided to show the idiot up. Anyway. Garage Guy, what about you? Have any experience with Stoegers?
No, I sure don't. I've seen her side-by-side coach guns. Would like to try one, maybe 20 gauge, 12 gauge. I think maybe, I don't know, maybe it was a firearm guy. I'm not sure. Maybe did a video or two on one of their pistols or something I saw a while back. But other than that, I don't have a clue.
All right, so I'm going to skip Gizzard Gary because he wants someone to send him a Stoeger so he could give them a
What's wrong
Rick
with
Harris
that?
says he had an SDR9 and loved it, but it got stolen. Man, that sucks. Ugh. Let's see. I'm Not From This Planet says it's a pretty decent cost-effective pistol. The Stoeger SDR9S Combat is pretty interesting. All right, so that's cool. It's cool. Nice interaction from the side chat. DJ Play Nice, what about you? Have any Stoegers?
I do not, have not even had one in my hands, so I'm gonna have to plead Viejo on this one. I just got to stick with that. I don't have an opinion, and maybe someone can give me one later on.
Your Honor, I'd like to plead the Viejo. Oh, you don't know anything about Stoegers either? Yeah. Okay.
Nice touch, Bubba.
There we go. Ron and Misty Wayne, what about you guys? Uh-oh. Well, they might be AFK. Mark, what about you? Muted. You're muted. There we go.
Thanks. Sorry. I like the shotguns. I wouldn't mind owning one. Hate to spend that kind of money on something like that, but as far as the pistols go, I have held them in my hand. One of those shops that I really like to go to, they leave 4 or 5 different guns out on the counter that you can just go walk over and pick up and handle. And they've always got that the STR9 sitting out, and it's pretty nice. I mean, I would consider getting one just to try it out, and if I didn't like it, I'd pass it along. But it seemed like a nice enough handgun.
All righty. Chris, what about you?
I don't own a Stoeger, but I have shot the STR9. It's not a bad gun at all. It's a Glock clone. It's a Gen 3 Glock clone pretty much, and it's Gen 3 Glocks are just reliable. So, depending on the budget, if you can't afford a Glock, I don't think it's a bad gun at all.
Look at what Hillbilly's trying to tell Gabriel. Look at this. Look at this, guys. Look what he's trying to accuse me of. How dare you think I've stuck a possum leg in your mouth? That's a moose. That's a moose's leg.
That's funny right there. I don't care who you are.
So they retail the one that I got is retailing for well, there's 277 truckers out there, right? And so that's the people I got to deal with for the price. So if those 277 truckers weren't there, I probably wouldn't have that much of a problem if it was like 250 truckers. Anyway, I love having to get around stuff. Anyway, Ron, Misty Wayne, you want to try again? See if we can hear you again.
Yeah, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Couldn't hear you before.
Okay, we wasn't muted, so I don't.
Yeah, it wasn't so muted on this.
Anyways, I was saying, yes. I actually pack a Stoeger STR 9C daily. Very reliable, very good gun. And back to what we was talking about before, when we go and shoot all these different guns at the range for our videos, that's always the last gun I shoot for the day. So I've had no issues with it. I think they're as good as any other because I have had no issues, and I'd say it if I did.
All righty. You know what? I said I was going to skip over him. Gizzard Gary, have you had any experience whatsoever at all with Stoeger? Oh, he's not even going to unmute himself now. All right. What about you, Pat?
I've got a couple friends that have owned Stoegers, and they have not had any trouble with them. They've, just been a rock solid gun for them. I've never shot one personally. I know the one person carried one for quite a while, and I can't remember what he switched out to, but I think he was just looking for something different, I think, because he's one of those guys that he's got to have like something different like every year or two, and just loves guns, just gun nut like us, just loves different guns. But me personally, I've never shot one, but everybody that I've been around says good gun. So.
All right, cool. That gives me more confidence in it. Especially because the way you guys know how I am. I always like to get cheaper stuff. So the price point on it for me was just a selling point. So I was just like, I kind of want that. And plus I wanted a 40 Smith & Wesson anyway. So yeah, it was either that or get an XD because I ain't buying Glock. Sorry, Bama Dad. I hate Glocks. But anyway, I digress.
Well, he's definitely looking in the wrong spot because they're all $299 hairs or less everywhere, other than where he's looking.
It's like everybody trying to say that it's only $50 or $50 hairs cheaper to get a dagger, and no, it's about $350 hairs cheaper than buying a Glock for a dagger. And it can be Gucci'd out ahead of time for less than the price of a non-optic cut Glock. And it shoots better and handles better. But that's just me. Sorry, can't stand Glocks. Can't stand Kimber either, though. So, I mean, that's me.
So are we talking rhinestones when you're putting some bling on that there, Bubba?
No, we're talking a full-on Gucci.
All right, then. Like to see it when it's done.
Let's see here. All right. So it's been Been 15 minutes. All right, so let's go ahead and do this drawing here. How the heck do I do this again? Present. Yeah, there it is. Here it is. All right, so we've got 26 in the drawing. Let's see who gets it. Right around it goes. Where it stops, nobody knows, and it's Bill.
All right.
Okay, yeah, what's the die? You know what, y'all?
Way to go,
I'm
Waller.
gonna spin it again. But this one's from me. Okay. So everybody, most people have seen the albatross knives that I give away. I don't actually have one on hand right now. Hold on just a second. I'm gonna go grab one. I don't know why.
No,
I don't
this is
have
a
one
different.
with me.
This is a different knife he's got tonight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about the next roll. It's gonna be from me.
Oh, okay.
Oh, all right, so go back to. All righty. So this here's the knife that I give away. It is a karambit style knife. It is full on steel. It comes in several different colors. It has a Damascus steel look. It has red and black. It has stainless steel and black, I believe. It has a cosmic purple look, and it has a rainbow look, kind of like the chameleon kind of paint jobs for it.
Yeah, cool.
So this is what the next giveaway is going to be for. So whoever wins it gets one of these. Just hit up my email, and I'll get it sent out to you. I'll show my email after this because I'm having a hard time with this here. All right, let's see here. Draw again. Where it stops, nobody knows. And fluffy 10mm Jeep guy. All righty.
All right.
So let's see here.
All
Let's
right.
put out my email.
Congrats to the winners.
Well, if it'll let me type.
And do my eyes deceive me? Did Walter just win and nobody in the text chat put in rigged? I don't think there's
No,
a
it's
single
there.
rigged out there. Oh, is it? Okay,
Yeah.
I'll go looking for it.
Gun wild.
Gun wild.
All right, so there is my email to you, Fluffy. And I actually made a promise to Jeff, Gun and Wild one. So, Jeff, go ahead and send me your address, and I'll mail you one because I promised I would give you one. Just tell me what color you want in the emails, guys, and I will send it right out.
Bubba, do you still have the wheel live, or did you kill it already?
It is not killed yet.
All right, well, let's do another giveaway.
Okay, doke.
All right, let's do a real quick. We'll do a sticker pack from me and the new Chris from
Oh,
the
there you go.
740
All
pack.
right, that's nice.
Yeah.
So let's do another one. That way, a third person.
Nice.
gets something.
Okay, dokie. Here we go. Rolling the wheel. Where it stops, nobody knows, ladies and gentlemen. It's not the Wheel of Fortune, but
Come on, come on, come on, and
Rick Harris
All right.
All right.
with a Daffy Duck and Porky Pig look. All righty.
Congratulations.
All righty.
All right, Rick. All you got to Rick's right out there. I saw he just commented. Rick, text me or email me at chrisfromthe740@gmail.com with your address, and I'll get that emailed out to you. Sent out to you.
Yes, Fluffy. The one that I showed is the blue. It is a nice sapphire colored blue. And I actually like this one the most. Actually, in all honesty, I like Sapphire to begin with. So, but it's a nice little karambit, very very quick release blade. Got the handle there for your thumb or pinky, whichever one you want to use, and they are extremely sharp, and I mean extremely sharp. So
those are nice knives.
I like karambits anyway, even if it wasn't sharp. I just like the way they look. But this one is made by the same company of the knives that Hillbilly used to give away, the Albatross multi-tool knives. And they had a line of karambits. So I was just like, well, hell, I'll just give that away for my giveaways. So,
yeah,
they're very, very nice. All steel. There's not an ounce of plastic anywhere on this blade. So it's kind of heavy, but it has a side clip, and it comes in a pouch that you can use. Don't know why you'd use the pouch unless the clip breaks on the back of it, but it does come with a nylon pouch.
I took mine to work with me one day, the one I won off of you a few months back, and people were aggravating me about it so daggone much. I just had to put it out in the truck there at lunchtime, and I never took it back since. What do you want for it? You ought to give me that. You want to trade? I'm like, just go away. I got on the forklift and rode around in the parking lot till they left me alone.
So they'll tell them just subscribe to Bubba's channel. You might win one.
Well, I told them come to the live stream, and I don't know, maybe they go to bed before Hillbilly comes on here on Saturday night. I don't know, but they liked it though. Those are really nice knives.
Yeah, I absolutely adore them. There was another knife that when I hit 500, there's another knife I'm going to be giving away, but it's a cold steel knife, so it's up there in price, but for 500 subs, I think it's a pretty good giveaway. So whenever I hit that, I'm going to be throwing that out there. Cold steel Tanto, and guys, I can attest to this. That thing will shave hair, no problem. At all.
Hey,
my brother's got my brother's got a cold steel Tanto, and I can attest to that. it's a nice knife.
All righty, Jeff. Did you tell me what color you wanted? Sometimes it takes a while for my emails to get to me, so I haven't looked at it yet. Let's see. I'll look at it later. Let's see here. All right, so what other questions do we have here? Now let's grab one that isn't. Actually, I think this was said a couple weeks ago, wasn't it? Yeah. Wow. Let's see if he's got any more. This ought to be fun. He might have done this one. I'm not sure. Have you ever owned a CB radio or been around one? What was your handle? Rubber Duck.
Yeah, Rubber Duck.
Anyway, yeah, what about you?
Okay, so again, this is going back a while, but when I was living out in the remote corner of our county, working for the sheriff department, teaching vocational agriculture, volunteer fireman, and president of the PTA, you wore a lot of hats in a little town like that. But everybody had CB radios out there, and this was in the mid 70s, and we still had magneto telephones where you got to crank it, and that got you an operator in a town 50 miles away, and she would hook you up to the party line, that belonged to the person that you were trying to get a hold of, and 8 people would answer, and 6 of them would hang up. You'd talk to the one you wanted, and you knew that Dottie was listening on her line because she always did. But so we used CB radios a lot out there. The valley was 8 to 10 miles long, and the CBs would get maybe 4 or 5 miles. So everybody had linear amps and directional antennas and stuff. And so we did a lot with CB radio. Our sheriff's units had them in the vehicles too. So and my handle was the Pathfinder. Yeah, somebody hung it on me. I don't know where it came from. Well, I know about the book, but it got hung on me. But so yeah, we ran CBs a lot. I had 2 or 3 different mobile units from time to time, but my base unit in the house was from Radio Shack, the Navajo, they call it. And the guy next to me was an electrician, radio freak guy. He tuned it up for me pretty well. And so, yeah, lots of them. And then after I moved to town, I would say maybe the late 80s, and I never used one ever again after that. So.
All right. Got a response from Tim S. Said the one I won from Bubba was sharp. It shaved my arm hair with it. All right. Michael Dunn says he had a handle and his name was the Roadrunner. Yeah, meep, meep. Dale Pogue says he was Hot Rod. Ozzy Osbourne says he was the Wiggle Watcher. Wayne says Ramblin' Man. Let's see. All right. Let's move on to Garage Guy. What about you?
Well, we talked about CBs here about a week or two ago, and I brought up the question if anybody had ever heard the brand name a lot of people called Whiteface Johnson, and if you wanted extra channels, you had to buy something called crystals or something. But my handle, I remember back in the day, I was just a kid, and the Christmas cartoons would come on, and there was Frosty the Snowman. And I don't know why this stuck with me over the years, but when those little kids on that cartoon built a snowman, built Frosty, and they said, what should we name him? One of the kids said, let's name him Oatmeal. And I don't know why that stuck with me, but later on, my CB handle was Oatmeal. Still is, if I ever talk on one again.
They probably
That's
changed
a
it
good
to
one.
Quaker.
That's unique.
Yeah, well, when I was at Fort Jackson, I was stationed in a combat transportation unit. And we'd put CBs in our 915s, and yeah, Oatmeal, where you at? You know, and I'm like, yeah, I'm here, you know. So that's stuck with me all these years. That's probably been nearly, well, not Fort Jackson, but when I first heard it, it's probably been 50 years ago.
All right. DJ, what about you?
Man, this is one of those where I seem to be the oddball out again. I don't have a lot that I'm going to pass on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double back to where we started on that. And I was baby Shutterbug because my dad was a photographer as well as being a school teacher. But my CB memory that I want to share is about C.W. McCall. And there's a couple of special reasons. And he was born in Audubon and grew up in Audubon, Iowa. And they were my high school sports conference. So it's not like I met the guy or saw his childhood home or anything, but I knew that he was from Southwest Iowa. I also knew that he recorded his first 3 or 4 albums at Sound Recorders in Omaha, Nebraska. That was the first recording studio I was ever in. And so seeing those gold records with the guy who sang Convoy, and I don't know if anybody remembers the follow-up album, the Rubber Duck album, where he takes the convoy on the road around the globe. If you haven't heard that, take a listen. It's hilarious. And I just remember really enjoying CB culture, so I wanted to throw in those 2 cents out there.
All righty. Ron and Misty Wayne, what about you guys?
Well, I had one. I don't think Miss Wayne had one, but
I had one, I just can't remember it.
yeah, mine was Puddle Jumper. Yeah, Puddle Jumper. Anyways, I got that ironically. I was in my late teens, and we went to a trap shoot, and I was carrying some skeet, and dropped the skeet on a frozen puddle, and from then on, they called me Puddle Jumper. Yeah.
All righty. Mark Thomas, what about you guys?
I do have one CB radio installed in the Jeep, mostly in case, trail riding, a little bit easier to use than cell phone if you're far out there. Doesn't get used that much. Never have had a handle. And if it's not for trail riding, it does come in awfully handy whenever traveling around here on the interstates, because we've got a couple that intersect here in Harrisburg. We got the Turnpike 76, we got Interstate 81 and 83. And when things get backed up, especially like on a Friday afternoon, that's one of the ways you can find out what the heck's going on. Get on the CB radio, the truckers are talking.
All right.
Hey, Mark.
Yep.
Interstate 81 is only a mile from my house that way.
Yep.
All right. Chris, 740. What about you, buddy?
I never had a handle or anything, but I remember my dad bought a Suburban, a brand new one in '89, and it had a CB installed in it. And my friends and I would sneak out there while my dad was at work and get in that vehicle and mouth off to all the truckers. It's about my that's about my experience with CB radios.
All right. Gizzard Gary, what about you, buddy?
Well, as most of you know, I grew up in the late 70s. So, yeah, during the height of the CB craze, probably mid to late 70s. And every vehicle I had for many, many years had a CB in it. Now, growing up in a small town, I don't know how many of you grew up in small towns, but they kind of had their own language and their own sayings and stuff like that. And about the time I was junior, senior in high school, if somebody spun their tires at a stop sign or goosed it a little bit going around a corner or something like that, saying for that was they were getting squirrel eye. So I picked up that name as my handle. I was Squirrel Eye for a number of years, and I'm not even real sure how it's spelled, so don't ask me, but and nobody's called me that in 45 years, so definitely wasn't Gizzard back then. But yeah, I definitely had many a CB radio.
All right. Pat in the bunker, what about you, buddy?
Yeah, I've had many. Back in high school, 42 now. Grew up in the 90s, even when the CBs were starting to kind of lose their popularity. But all the guys that I ran with, everybody had a CB in their car, and we had kind of like what Gizzard said. We had our own lingo because the cops would listen in. Because every single one of the cops in town there had a CB radio still in their car at that point in time, and we had to have like RRF, which meant reverse river flow, and that was back towards the west, and river flow RF was back towards the east, and we had kind of had our own little lingo and everything on it, and my handle was Roadkill. And that one got hung on me because I hit 2 deer at once with a old '84 Oldsmobile that I had, and just turned them into that blood, guts, everything all over, probably for about a good 7,500 yards. So that's how I got that one hung on me. But yeah, and to this day, I still do some. I do some amateur radio. I'm a ham radio operator, so I do a little bit of that stuff on the side whenever I get the time. And my brother got, especially my brother. He's got a really good bass rig, and we reach out there on the out there on the airwaves, and still have a good time doing it. Even though I don't play around with the CB hardly any at all anymore. But, yeah, it was good times. It was good times, and it was definitely a good way to communicate if you wanted, even as cell phones were gaining popularity in the 90s, especially towards the late 90s. Yeah, it was still a good time.
All right. I made a joke saying it was a rubber duck, but no, that's just. I actually did have a handle. My dad's been a truck driver all of his life, and going around with him on trips and stuff to like California. Like I've been to every state, rides with him and stuff when school was out. And it was weird because at the age of 8 years old, my handle was old man, and it would freak. Technically, it was either old man or doesn't make sense was the two names, and that was because whenever people would talk to me or whatever on the handle, they'd call out to me or whatever, and I'd respond back, and they thought they were literally talking to an old man because apparently my voice was still deep even at 8 years old. And they say, "Sound like you're in your 60s." It's like, no, sir, I'm 8. No, that doesn't make sense. So it was either old man or doesn't make sense was the two handles. Doesn't make sense was in like Arizona and Utah for the truck drivers out there. And always making jokes and stuff like that. And my dad always played like Howard Stern and stuff in the background. So it was just like all kinds of weird stuff coming from an 8-year-old's mic whenever they would hit the CB radio. Oh, jeez. I always enjoyed it. I always wanted a PA system in my car. But I know the way I am now, I'd probably get in way more trouble than it's worth. But I always wanted a PA system because my buddy in high school used to have one in his, and I always wanted to just drive it. Move, you dumb bitch. And I'd get in a lot of trouble. I'd probably have a lot of guns pulled on me if I had the PA system. Yeah. I guess the chicken sound was coming from Pat because don't hear the chicken anymore. Anyway, I don't think there's any more questions that we haven't already done. Anybody else got anything?
I'm getting hungry. I'm going to bail pretty soon.
I second that emotion. And why is it that I'm following in behind you with everything tonight, Walter? I don't know, man. But I got some pizza dough in the fridge that I'm going to bring out to room temperature. The next half hour, it's going in the oven. We want to swing by.
The roadkill has made you two each
As long
other's
as there's
spirit
no
animal.
possum parts on it. Yeah.
That roadkill just don't stay with you.
It don't, no, it's like eating Chinese,
Chinese food, yeah.
Hey, DJ, you mentioned C.W. McCall there a little while ago. I don't know if you can see that from the glare.
Oh, there we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris Christopherson and Ally McGraw. One of my favorite all-time movies.
Right on.
And you know how Hollywood has this notion that they should redo movies like they did The Longest Yard. They have no business touching this movie. The original is the best, and I don't think it could be topped.
Yeah, I second that. I think they need to leave movies alone. They don't do any good on the new ones they come out with, let alone redoing an old movie.
Yeah, if you don't have a new idea, forget it,
Just stop stealing from other people, like for real.
Right. Yeah.
I am so done with that generation of stuff. But yeah, guys, since it's getting about to the 2-hour mark for this live stream, I guess we go ahead and end it. Let's start off with Viejo. Got anything coming up?
I've got a couple videos that are going to come out here in the next 2 days. I started this Henry's and Handguns series several months ago, and I'm behind. So I got the video, the casting and shooting and everything done for that. And this one's going to be with the 44, the Henry 44 carbine, big boy carbine, and a Ruger Super Blackhawk, real nice one, case hardened frame, real nice single action revolver. So I'm going to try to get that one posted tomorrow. And Monday is Moldy Monday again, and I got this 10 millimeter project in the works, and so that's gonna start this week too. The handgun's due on Wednesday, and I got a bunch of brass in today, and so we're gonna have some video coming up with that stuff. So, and Bubba, it's gonna be a handgun that you don't like, so I'm not even gonna tell you. We're real limited here in California for 10 millimeters. You get there's 2 Glocks, neither of which I like. Nothing against Glocks, but the 20 and the 29 are the only 2 Glocks. There's 2 Kimber 1911s. There's a couple of Smith & Wesson revolvers, and that's it. I think there's about six 10 millimeter firearms that are on California's roster. So it's nuts. Anyway, it is what it is. So that's what I got coming up. Typical Viejo stuff. So,
alrighty, guys, go check out Viejo. He's always got a lot of good videos, and if he can't have it on YouTube, he's got it on his Rumble. Go check that out as well. Garage Guy, go ahead.
All right. First of all, I want to say, Walter, I'm really looking forward to seeing those videos here you got coming up. Also, Chris from 740, I believe this is the first time we've been on a panel together. It was good to meet you. And what I got coming up here this coming weekend will be a video about the Rock Island Armory M206 revolver 38 special. I'll have it uploaded. I plan on doing a video every other week. And other than that, of course, the giveaway for a Stevens Model 301 single shot 20 gauge. The giveaway for Lakeview Outdoors. You know, as far as mailing money orders, the cutoff date for that is September 2nd. And as far as the Cash App and Venmo digital money transfers, that will be September 7th. The cutoff date is $20 per entry. And the drawing will be here on Hillbilly's live stream Saturday night, September 9th.
All righty. Guys, go check out Mark's channel. He does a lot of good videos, and he's a really down-to-earth, really good person. So definitely go check out his videos. If you haven't been subscribed, do yourself a favor, subscribe to him as well.
Thank you.
Next person on the list, DJ Play Nice. Go ahead, bud.
Hey, man. Well, earlier on Saturday evenings, Brooke Cheney, she was in here earlier, has a discussion about mental health awareness and violence and suicide prevention. I know Saturday nights get busy. You don't have to be there every week, but I would like to see some more of these familiar faces over there. I'll drop a link to her channel on Tuesday evenings. My buddy Guns and Barbecue has a conversation. You never know where it's going to go, so you might as well stop in and see. And tonight on the DM Foss channel, there is a chat. He's alternating on Saturdays between something called the Mouse Party. If you've never been, you should. And this week, I do believe it's an overnight. And by the overnight, that means that the topics can vary, but sometimes it's about firearms. Often it's about rights, and it's always a good time. So glad to be on the show tonight. Congrats to all the winners. And Gary, I will get you that sticker pack. Congrats on that 57. So until I see everybody again, be safe, have fun, carry your guns, and rock. I'm out.
All righty. And those of you who don't know, DJ Play Nice does not do that many videos. As a matter of fact, I don't think he actually does anything really, but he does let everybody know about anything to do with the 2A community, suicide prevention, and anything of that nature. So go subscribe to him anyway, just so you can get information that you might not be aware of for the other channels. And he's a very good guy, so go check him out as well. Ron and Misty Wayne, what you guys got coming up?
Well, tomorrow, usual bat time, bat channel at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard, we have our Sunday range days where you might get to see Miss Wayne covered up with some water and hear her squeal. You never know.
Or Ron gets a cookie.
Yeah, I might get a cookie too. But outside of that, we upload every day. So, and we appreciate everybody. Thanks for having us on, Hillbilly. If you're out there still, or you're going to watch this replay, and an honor being with all of you again. Always a fun time here. Great community. And got a few new guns coming to the channel. Outside of that, I'll send it on.
All righty. So once again, guys, it's with every channel here. Go check them out. They make a lot of good videos, and they're just great for the community and stuff. And they always stick out there. So go check them out as well. And Mark Thomas, go right ahead.
I don't have too much to plug. Back to work this week, so a lot of my free time is now gone. I do have a couple of holster projects that are in the works, things that'll hopefully be sending out maybe by the end of the week, and might make a few videos about those. Don't know what for shooting I'll get to do. Yeah, that's pretty much about it. Been a pleasure to be here this evening. Great hanging out with the panel. Awesome to be talking with some of the folks in the side chat. It's been running really well. So hopefully everybody has a great week. Thanks.
All right. Those of you who don't know Mark Thomas's channel, he makes leatherworking stuff and he does gun videos, but his leatherworking is better than anybody else's. No holds bars. Nobody could beat him in leatherworking. I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. Sorry, everybody else. No, you don't make nothing worth a dang worth as far as Mark Thomas's stuff is concerned. You don't even come close, guys. So sorry about that, but facts don't care about your feelings. So thanks, Mark, for being on the panel, and let's go over to Chris from the 740. What you got for us, brother?
Want to thank you for having me on the chat tonight. I had a great time. I've got a lot of stuff coming up. I've got 3 or 4 videos every week coming out. I'm subscribed to everybody on this panel, and I respect each and every one of you, and you guys inspire me to keep doing what I do. And I think we can all, in the side chat and on the panel, I think Bubba needs to start doing his own live chat because he did a great job tonight doing this show. So, Bubba, I think you need to start having your own show.
Right. There's going to be a bunch of Glock fanboys getting battered and fired at anything I say.
Hey.
Seems
bad publicity is publicity, right? So, no, thank you so much for having me on tonight. I really enjoyed it. And thanks to the side chat and everybody on the panel.
Guys, if you don't know Chris from the 740, first of all, get out from underneath the rock. That's no place to live. Go check out Chris from the 740. He makes a lot of great videos, does a lot of good product reviews and stuff. So definitely get out from underneath whatever rock you're living in and check it out. Pat, I'm sorry. Get out of your bunker and watch him. So go check out his channel, Chris from the 740. And you will.
That's where I watch all my videos, is in the bunker.
Get back in your hole. No, get out of your hole. Never mind. Right.
I'm always in my hole. Come on, man. Double entendres here.
Nothing grows in the dark, Pat. If you wanted an entendre, there you go.
Nothing goes in the dark.
No, it's I'm like a mushroom. You just feed me full of shit and shove me in the dark, and I'll grow.
Oh, there he is. And that's our one big cuss word for the night. But yeah, go check out Chris and 740's channel, guys. You will not be disappointed. Gizzard Gary or Lizard Larry, go on ahead.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. As far as where I'm at, what I do, I have a show on Friday nights this same time, 9:00 p.m. Central, called Foul Territory. We have a little bit smaller panel than this, but we have fun. We give stuff away, and we actually also show people's pictures that they send in for the show. Bubba sent in some before, so we have a good time. I'd like to invite every one of you, if you want to come by, if you're free on a Friday night around 9 p.m. Central, come by and join us. We'd love to have you. Big shout out to Bubba. Bubba did a good job tonight. He needs to go in and untie Hillbilly after this is all over, so we probably ought to get off here pretty soon. But anyway, once again, thanks for having me. Everybody be safe. Have a good weekend.
All righty. All right, Pat. You can speak now. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I'm not exactly in the bunker, but that's okay. I actually think this is the first stream that I've done with the Garage Guy and Ron and Misty Rain, so it was so good hanging out with all you folks. on the panel tonight, and yeah, Bubba did a good job. He really did, subbing in for Hillbilly, and yeah, he might want to think about maybe doing his own live stream sometime, even if it's just every once in a while deal. But anyway, side chat, everything great. And I honestly think Mark Thomas still has the best beard on YouTube. I don't know. It's a cross between Chris and Mark. It's pretty hard to. Those guys, those beards. Look out. But anyway, had fun tonight. And thanks for having me on tonight. And thanks for everybody tolerating me. Stay safe. Carry your weapon.
And as with the other two, go check out their channels. They make a lot of fun stuff. And as far as my outro, everybody here is more deserving, or everybody here is more deserving of a sub than I am. They are very great for the community. They do a lot for the community, and they help out when people are in need and stuff of that nature. So they are way, way, way more deserving of a subscription than I am. And I am honestly a better person because of knowing all of these people on this panel. So I thank you guys for being here. I thank Hillbilly for letting me do this, even though he's tied up in the back. I'll go release him here shortly. But before I get off here, I have two things I need to do. I need to do my sign off, which is stay safe, stay armed, stay two-way strong. Have a fantastic weekend and keep getting at it. And the last thing I have for you guys is my farewell. We'll meet again. Don't know where.
Don't know where.
All I know we'll meet again. Sunny day. Take care, guys.
Night, everyone.
Good night, y'all.